well, rather interesting possible megaliths and ancient sites, and the stones here, all the red stones, but not just that, it looks like also mounds, what could clearly be pyramid mounds that definitely need LiDAR on them at the very least. And the geography of this area is just something else. And each one of these being a small car-sized giant red ball. Lots of them broken apart in that area, but it was several valleys and, well, what can only be described as mounds, pyramidal mound hills that these balls were on. And here you can see another what looks like a step mound site, and the giant red heavy balls on top, nonetheless, not buried like we see in so much stuff that archaeological sites that are way deeper, way more buried than they should be. Yet in this Red Rock Coulee, southern Alberta site, it actually is the opposite, where these anomalous giant red supposed sandstone balls are actually on the top of the soil and the surrounding terrain. And let's see here what other pictures I have of it up, as I do have a couple, not sure if it's in this roll, but we'll find it before the stream is done, up close of some of them split open, and that they literally have concentric circles throughout them when they're cracked open. Here, another what looks like perfect mound, of course, right? Like, oh yeah, this isn't a pyramid ancient site. No, yes, I suspect this is ancient megaliths in southern Alberta. Pyramid site, and if these aren't convincing as possible mounds, wait till I go back to Drumheller, Alberta, and document the layered mounds there that literally litter the entire river valley and town slash, I guess maybe city of Drumheller. World famous for the Royal Tyrrell Museum of dinosaurs, and I myself having a cryptid experience in downtown Drumheller at 3:30 in the morning one night when I was at my friend's place. Don't care if you believe me or not. I experienced what I experienced. I even pegged it with my laser that I had on me at the time, and it was cruising. It was high up, and it was big. Whether dragon or thunderbird or pterodactyl, petrodactyl, something, it was just huge. And the hair, just even right now, again, stands up on the back of my neck every time I think about it. When you're in that moment of you feeling like you are prey, you are being hunted, when you're in that situation, your instincts, adrenaline, everything kicks in, and the shivers that you get, that you're aware that your life is in the in peril, right? And this thing, it was just nuts. It blocked out the moon. It was crazy. But yeah, that's for another day, another episode. We will get into all of the cryptids. And shout out to Frankie at New West Reset, hooking me up with this cryptids book right here that we will be doing a feature episode together with the New West Reset and go into the cryptids of Western North America. And I will go into detail my own experiences with what I believe were Sasquatch, amongst other things like I just spoke of with the petrodactyl, pterodactyl, dragon, dinosaur, thunderbird, whatever the heck it was. It was definitely hunting, and it was in Drumheller. But this is not Drumheller we're looking at, though. The Badlands of Alberta actually stretch from oh, good day, Isaac Amor, brother from another mother tuning in from Facebook. Good sir. If you're down, Isaac, next summer, we'll have to do some camping and exploring when I go back to these sites, if you're up for it. And for all, actually, try to do a YouTube meetup camping exploration site tour of southern Alberta, of Writing on Stone Park, which is the Milk River / southernmost Badlands border of Montana and the U.S. That extends these Badlands all the way up. I believe it's 400 kilometers from south to north. I could be mistaken, but that sounds correct. And so it goes from this Milk River, Writing on Stone, up through this Red Rock Coulee that we're currently looking at, through Medicine Hat Badlands, all the way up to Drumheller, Alberta, and even further north. Just massive, extensive, insane, what are labeled these Badlands. They're pretty desolate, barren looking, like they're not lush by any means. I do believe that the majority of it is actually arid and classified technically as desert, and that nothing really grows through these. Yet in my explorations of I am starting to find a couple in the Red Rock Coulee area, but more so it was everywhere in the Medicine Hat Badlands Guardians, with all of the terracing for what looked like ancient usage of agriculture, of the water and storing it better, and just agricultural farming on a much more harmonic and efficient manner than what we do today. And that potentially these once now Badlands were once lush, or at least heavily, densely populated and well farmed areas. And my apologies having to go back and forth to different computers, as I still haven't been able to get StreamYard to let me log back into my main laptop yet. It's just a pain in the butt, but we're making do. And what gets me on this is how they're literally resting on the top ridge, like on top, not just on top of the soil, but also on like the very top of these geology here, and the hills / possible mounds, whatever they are, just anomalous. It is anomalous in its features. And for those unaware, I actually did 3 years of post-secondary education, majoring in geology and geography. So I do have a bit of a scientific background in this, and I find these so much of the official story just BS and impossible. Yeah, right. And well, And what we speculate, Isaac, if you've seen, and actually what I will be playing a segment of coming up with the Dutch Synths first interview, but with Stellium 7 joins in, he looks into this Titanology and what we believe, if you believe in the 5 ages of the sun, and like that there were, giants in those days beforehand and possible titans before that, that these could also be biogeology, as in giant seeds or giant eggs potentially left over, or, giant bowling balls from titans themselves. Who knows? But that what seems to be evident in all of these Badlands sites throughout North America, not just in Canada, but also the US, Utah, Nevada, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, everywhere that they call these Badlands, that they look like they've had some sort of mass catastrophe, whether it was like nuclear or a plasma, some sort of insane past heat and destruction that hit it. And now we are getting into the actual Badland Guardian site of Medicine Hat, Alberta. And I did take a sample to get tested and to look at, Isaac, to answer your question. They do seem, and they claim to be of sandstone, but there's a few features. I'm going to have to do a full episode on it, and I'll most likely be doing it with Wandering Wolf. Shout out to Michael at Wandering Wolf Productions. Epic channel and work that he does, visiting every ancient site, anomalous sites around North America, South America, Asia, Middle East. He's been all over, and looking forward to catching up with him. And he was the one who put me on to the actual location of Red Rock Coulee that we just looked at, and now we are looking at the hillsides of what is the picture at the top, my logo of Crypto Alchemist, the face of the Badlands Guardians. Sorry, it's actually this guy right here. My logo, of course, being this guy, which is just down the valley, probably 10 kilometers over, 5 to 10 kilometers from this guy right here. And it was this guy right here that I'm going to be showing all of the next pictures of our different sides, hillsides and angles of this hill. You can see the main road separating the two faces with the Quetzalcoatl, I believe, the dragon headdress or snake headdress on this Aztec, Mayan, Olmec looking warrior guy, and that each hill face making up this giant feature is completely terraced, as in terraces, potentially agricultural terraces would be the purpose of it. And that is what you're looking at right here in this hillside. And you can see these parallel lines going up and down every single foot and, incline angle of these hillsides, these parallel terraces everywhere. And this is part of this macro terraforming that created these massive faces, figurines, geoglyphs from above. And that at one point, I would be willing to wager that this was all used as agricultural terracing. And from my brief conversation with the current rancher farmer owners of this property, they definitely are not responsible for it. They do not use it. They barely even traverse it, yet alone plow it or try to farm it other than just for cattle grazing. And when I was there in mid-June, which is actually Alberta's rainy season this year, it was so dry in June still that he was afraid of wildfire breaking out, and thus I wasn't able to explore more of the site than what I did here. But as we continue, you can see every single surface, every single incline and angle of these massive hill features have these parallel lines, these parallel terraces. How high are the ridges? I would say at least a couple 100 feet, if not well, yeah, probably at least at least a couple hundred. Each one of those is each terrace, each parallel line is about a meter on average. I didn't measure them at the time, but that would be my best estimate from what I saw while I was there. And yeah, from bottom to top, maybe even a few hundred. Yeah, so the terraces, some were about a foot and some were a meter. It was weird, depending on the hill. The smaller hills, now that I think about it, were about a foot. The bigger ones had them at about a meter. And as you can see, just over and over and over, every single which way on them. And this would be extremely ancient terraforming or construction, and that it still remains today, to this day, as I guess a testimony to just how incredible this work really is. Oops, going too far. Here we go. We can see from another angle another hill face on it. Terraces down, just everywhere. And this is just a small sampling of the pictures that I have and of the hills there of it. Still will be doing full-length features on this, going over all of the evidence and the material, the pictures, video, content that I've collected and got this summer. Oh yeah, no, definitely, Isaac. They would not be using farm equipment on those steep inclines today. God no, like you'd roll a vehicle trying to drive up these, a lot of them. And let's see. So right down in the middle here was like the one like path, the one vehicle path. Actually, it might be below the picture cutoff. I'm not sure. Either that or it's hidden by foliage or something. But yeah, it was very rarely you could tell driven on, and that it was more one half of it was used as game trail and for like the cattle and whatnot, and you know, the tire track on the second part of the trail fairly rarely used, with lots of plants growing up in it, you know, like it hadn't been driven on in quite some time. And that as I explored and climbed up and down these hills, making sure that it's like, oh, this isn't each single one, definitely not all animal trails, grazing trails, or anything